Hello, this is Preston Sandlin with Home Inspection Carolina. Today I want to take you through a home inspection that we did in Huntersville. I didn't put the cover picture on there because I want to protect the innocent, but I wanted to show you on a regular home inspection typically what we find. So this could be used like as a home inspection checklist. We usually start on the external part of the house and make a couple of trips around, varying our closeness or distance from the house to observe multiple things. First thing you're going to notice right here is some dental molding that has some exposed wood right here. So that needs to be primed and painted, as if it's exposed to the weather it can be damaged. This is a crawl vent. A couple of things here, and all the crawl vents in this house were missing the screens. They need screens. They just wore out over time. Also, if you notice, the mortar is missing here as well. It's a crawl vent for Crawlspace. Again, missing screens. Another thing too is these vents should have a 2-inch clearance from the ground cover, and if that's not possible, they need a vent well, which is like one of those half bucket looking things that allow the crawl space to vent without rainwater running in. Got a little bit of soft wood right here where moisture damage. Um, this is the front of the garage. The problem you have here is the mulch is right up to the siding, and that should have a 6-inch clearance because that is conducive for termites and moisture damage to the bottom of the wood. And as you can see, there's some trim damage here where it's just basically what's happened is the bottom of this was not primed and painted. So every time it rained, the water would leak around and it would just wick up that moisture and it eventually caused it to damage. Um, this during a home inspection, we will take pictures of all the serial numbers and the plates on the air conditioners, the stove. And what we're doing is checking for recalls. We do a recall check. Also, there's information here of the size and the manufacturer and the date and that sort of thing. Um, the problem here on the deck is you've got these joists that are not on a ledger board, and they do not have hangers or no support. So basically they're just toenailed in here, here, and here. So you got all this weight just depending on that toenail, which is just like the end piece of that nail holding up a lot of weight. So they need hangers, some type of support pier or ledger board to give them more support. Same thing in the middle joist there as well. It is flashed, as you can see. More vents you can see that don't have screens. Um, you see this quite a bit. If they have dogs or pets, they scratched up the back wall, which is exposing this raw wood to the weather. Also, you've got loose weather stripping on the sliding screen door, and you also have the screen is damaged from the animal scratching on the door. Just a closer picture. The other side as well needs to be primed and painted. Both steps, you see this quite a bit. Over time, the bricks get chipped, mortar gets loose, they need to be pointed back up. This handrail is also loose. But one thing you want to make sure of is if it ever snows, you do not want to use that rock salt stuff to put down on your mortar or brick, because what happens is that salt water, once it melts, will get down in that mortar, and it really just wreaks havoc and causes it to crack and that sort of thing. Again, see, we've got gaps in the mortar here, you got some cracking, that sort of thing need to be pointed up. The back wet door is damaged by, you can see where that's damaged from the dogs as well. This is a plumbing boot where it's raised here. That actually is leaking periodically. We'll see another picture of where that's actually leaking. Um, Again, mortar needs to be pointed up. This is the panel box, 200 amp panel box. It wasn't double hitched or anything, but you are missing a knockout cover right there. And that's the inside. It was grounded, it was bonded. Looked pretty good actually. Um, Got a loose conduit here. I actually fixed that while I was at the inspection. That's another picture of the door. Also, this conduit here is loose and it's not really proper the way it runs under the door there. Dryer vents should never have the grate cover over them. Those are only for bath vents because you can see how this clogs up and could cause a fire. The left rear downspout, the little bracket's loose. And in our reports, whenever there's left rear, right rear, that sort of thing, it's always from the front of the house. Both gates are missing the latches, and they need some TLC. As you can see here, they're not quite matching up properly. The rear fence on this house actually belongs to the neighbor in the back, but it's in pretty bad shape. It's being held up by 2x4s in multiple places. So I just wanted the buyer to be aware of that if they are going to have a dog. The problem you've got here is this is a chimney, which, if you have a fire in here or whatever, or, hot, you've got tree branches right around the chimney that need to be trimmed back. Oops, sorry. The manual lock on one of the garage doors is broken. They are using a garage door opener, so that's really, as long as they're using that, that's fine. But if they ever go to manual operations, they won't be able to lock it. Again, more loose mortar. There's a couple of sets of steps. That's why you're seeing this over and over. And we make several trips around the house. Again, you got some exposed wood here. Some exposed wood here as well. The clean out needs to be cleaned out. I've got a lot of ashes in there. Needs some sealant around this gap where the Freon line comes out. It was missing a splash block, but I found it and dug it up and put it back in. Again, the screen is damaged from animals. Uh, like I said earlier, I know you're seeing things a couple of times. Like I said, we make several trips around the outside of the house. This is the damaged door, and also the railing there is loose. It's not rusted all the way through, but there is some rust on the railing. I'd recommend getting some, scraping that down and getting some rust preventative paint. Just FYI, the trim has been enclosed in some vinyl siding there as well. You got damage. This is where the garage roof comes in, and moisture has gotten behind that siding. This is sort of a poor lower roof comes into upper roof, and you got a little alcove here where leaves are gathering, and that's just a poor design, and you're gonna have to keep those leaves out of there. You're gonna get a leak. Again, the tree branches need to be trimmed back. You got some soft siding here as well. There's a gap in the shingle right here. That shingle needs to be replaced. There wasn't enough adequate smoke detectors, and you need carbon monoxide detectors, as this house did have gas heat. Some caulk is needed there at the bathroom and the wall. The cover for the scuttle hole for the attic needs insulation. There was some missing insulate, or it's pushed out of place. I just fixed all that and put it back in place. There was a leak by the chimney, as you can see right here, and you see the moisture going down right there as well. So you got quite a bit of a leak coming down here and causing some damage to that interior sheathing. Many of the outlet covers need to be refitted because you've got gaps around the outlets. Missing a cover plate there on that outlet. The HVAC, I got a 17-degree differential. It was fine. It was great. This stopper in the upstairs bath wouldn't stay closed. Needs to be adjusted. Need caulk where the counter meets the wall there. This is where your flue comes up, and for the water heater as well. It's just this. They had a leak here at one time. They repaired it, but they didn't put the sheathing back over the chase there. The toilet here ran continuously, and the seller told me about that as soon as I got there, and he's planning to fix that. So I recommend that they flush that and make sure that it shuts off on its own during their walkthrough. You do have some vertical cracking here. That doesn't bother me too bad. The ones that bother me are the lightning bolt cracks that you could stick a pencil lead into. That door rubs. It's going into the upstairs bedroom. Some more vertical cracks. Missing a register cover here. Filters need to be changed. Got a gap. This is downstairs bathroom. The chimney looked pretty good, although there is some creosote buildup. I recommend having it cleaned prior to closing on the house. Got a little bit of cracking here on the mantle. That actually, I fixed that. Never mind. There's evidence of a prior leak there at the bay window. Not active now. Some more vertical cracking. There had been a leak at the laundry. This is the laundry here. It's not leaking now, but the guy wanted to monitor it for a little while. That's why he hasn't put the drywall back up. He had to cut that drywall out to make the repair. Got a couple of dings where two doors hit each other. Always check behind the door stops. There's always dings. That's the back, that laundry door. We saw the other side. The animals and the rust have sort of got to that. You need some more weather stripping at the door going to the garage, as you can see daylight underneath there. Missing the molding or quarter round in the kitchen. Missing a brick right there. It's been gone for a while because moss has been growing. This outlet in the garage is damaged, as you can see right there. Again, we're just taking, we do this for the recall check. Missing a globe on the garage light. The step going into the garage needs pointing up. See how it's cracked right there? Mortar crack. Also, the weather stripping there is damaged. Typically, you want these. These are the eyes for the garage door that the auto reverse sends them into auto reverse. Typically, you want those 6 to 8 inches, and this one's about 12 or a foot, so it really should be lowered a little bit. One of the garage doors was extremely squeaky and rubbing, so it needs to be adjusted and lubricated. Just FYI, we usually check in here for mud tubes for termites, but there was a lot of stored items that we couldn't move because they're really heavy and they're personal items that may break. Recommend that they check it on their walkthrough. Notice, just a little bit of this acoustical spray ceilings usually do not work well in the garage because of moisture and stuff. This has fallen and cracked, but not really a big deal out on the garage. Again, I took a picture of that. This is that plumbing boot on the outside that was raised, so when you get just the right wind-rain combination, there's a leak right here. Notice that the house has been treated for termites. As you see, the drill mark and patch there, drill mark and patch there. No termites at the time of the inspection, though. Strike plate was loose. We fixed that. If they come loose again, though, you might have to get longer screws, though. This is in the crawl space. You're missing a section of insulation there on the back. You notice there's some microbial growth here. There had been high moisture in this crawl space in the past. However, now all the crawl vents are open. They've put plastic down, and really I got 12% moisture throughout, which is good. But there definitely was some microbial growth in the past, so we're gonna have that tested. I don't know if you can see that, but I just got 12%. Oh goodness, come on. I hate when that stuff comes up. Yeah, you can see, but you see the microbial growth, the old microbial growth, and there. Also, this is a ductwork there. The support for this ductwork has choked this ductwork, and it's actually losing some air right there, so that's going to have to be repaired. The tape needs to be retaped as you're losing air right there as well. This was interesting. There's actually a leak further up, but also when they sweated or they soldered this pipe, they didn't cover this drain line, so they use a torch and they damaged that drain line when they did that. There's actually a leak right there. When I pulled the insulation back, water came down. Fortunately, it hasn't done any damage to the wood though. This board and the board beside it actually does have some moisture damage, and it actually has shrunk some. This is up underneath the foyer. That's the other one right there. Good thing the moisture is down now. And again, see this microbial growth. We're going to recommend that that's tested. Got some unevenness in the floor, and that's it. That's actually another house. So thank you for watching. This is Home Inspection Carolina. If you need a home inspection or have any home inspection questions, please go to our website, homeinspectioncarolina.com. Thanks.